Hello everybody, this is Troy Napsker with the Advanced Spine Joint Wellness Center in Medina. Today, as we begin our lecture series here on YouTube, in our YouTube station, first and foremost, welcome. This is new to us. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. Some of these videos will get a little bit more in depth to some of the things that we do here, but also give you guys some general information about what we do. And we're going to really get precise with these things. We're going to really drill into some of the problems that we see here in the office. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk really vaguely, and we're going to be addressing one of the most important things that we see here in the office, and that's just talk about inflammation. There's not a single problem or healthcare issue that we see come through this office that doesn't have inflammation as part of its root cause. Now, let me just explain that a bit. Let's say that somebody has a heart condition like heart disease. It takes inflammation to make the blood vessel wall sticky for cholesterol to be able to stick to it. And it's inflammation in that blood vessel that allowed the cholesterol to stick in the first place. There's a great journal article written by a cardiovascular surgeon. It was in the Signs of the Times. His name's Charles Liddell. He's a medical doctor. And he talks specifically about this, that over many years, he was missing the source of the problem with many of his heart patients, and he had done over 2,500 bypass surgeries. And he talks about this in this article where inflammation is the root cause. It's also the cause of many of the problems we see here in the office with thyroid issues. We see it with autoimmune problems like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, degenerative disc disease, sciatica. Just about every problem we see here in the office, inflammation is part of it. And what I want to do is I want to take some time today to discuss what are the three sources of inflammation. And the reason being is this is unbelievably important. Most patients have never heard this before. Most of you out there that are listening or seeing this video have never heard this before. So I would encourage you to take some notes, or if you've got questions, give us a call. You can contact our office directly, 330-721-6504, or you can visit us on our website, which will be listed below on this video. So let's get into this. Inflammation has three sources. The three sources are, number one, there are physical sources. Physical sources are things like joint problems, muscle irritation, pressure on nerves that become inflamed. Physically, there are areas in our bodies that we can find that are inflamed. It's very common. That's very simple. And in healthcare, we're pretty good at identifying these problems. Now, what I really want to talk mostly about is number two and number three. Number two is one of the most important ones that most folks have never heard about this before, and that's the environmental influence on inflammation. And by the environmental influence, what do we mean? It's things like foods. In our foods, there are many chemicals, toxins, and things that create inflammation in our bodies, let alone some of the foods alone are pro-inflammatory. So let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. Some of our foods have artificial sweeteners and artificial chemicals in them, artificial colors. All of these things have been shown to be pro-inflammatory. If you really drill into some of the research, take a look, you may find and you may note that these things are terribly pro-inflammatory. Some foods themselves are unbelievably pro-inflammatory. And these are things like milk, dairy. Dairy is unbelievably pro-inflammatory. All of us are becoming more aware of gluten. Gluten is highly pro-inflammatory, and the list goes on and on and on. If you're unaware of this and you have problems with perhaps weight gain, thyroid issues, pain, whatever the problem may be, foods are oftentimes very much so related to the problem. We do food sensitivity testing to take a look at this, and just sometimes by simply talking with folks, we can clean things up very quickly to decrease inflammation. Second source environmentally is water. A lot of our water locally has fluorides, other detergents, and things that are in it. It's safe to drink in terms of bacteria and things like this, but the chemicals and the toxins that are in our water, again, are very pro-inflammatory. Fluoride, for instance. Now, we're exposed to other toxins in our environment. Those are chemicals. There are plenty of those things right underneath your kitchen sink that can be very inflammatory towards our bodies. Now, let's talk about the third source of inflammation. This one is stress. Now, stress, of course, we all have it. Americans are under considerable stress. We are under more stress than any other generation at this point. We are a go society. We have so many things to do. We don't sleep. We don't eat right. We just go. And the problem with that is we have some small glands here in our bellies. They're right above the kidneys. They're called the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are designed to be our glands of stress. If a tiger were to come through this door behind me and want to eat me or cause me harm, my body is going to go into a fight or flight response. That's what the adrenal glands are designed to do. They produce epinephrine, norepinephrine, and some other hormones that are designed to help me escape that situation very quickly. When we're under chronic stress, as all of us are, some of these hormones are constantly secreted and we begin to experience adrenal fatigue or adrenal burnout. Adrenal burnout is unbelievably common, and when we balance or support the adrenal glands, it's amazing how folks will begin to feel better with fatigue, with a myriad of different issues. Now, why are the adrenal glands so important? With inflammation, the adrenal glands have some natural hormones that are also anti-inflammatories. These things are very, very helpful for our bodies to help decrease inflammation. And if we have adrenal fatigue, our natural ability to decrease inflammation in our body has been dramatically hindered. So, in short, we have three sources of inflammation in our body. Number one is physical. Number two is the environmental influence. And number three is stress. If you've never heard this before, this is a relatively new concept to you, I encourage you to give us a call with questions or stop in for a free consultation. The sooner we identify the sources of inflammation and begin to treat these, the faster symptoms begin to resolve. With joint pain, with thyroid issues, with fatigue, sleep issues, insomnia, the list goes on and on and on. And if you're suffering from one of these problems, I would encourage you to reach out to us. Again, our website is going to be listed below this video. Our office number is 330-721-6504. You can contact John L. He'll be happy to set you up for an initial consultation. We greatly look forward to helping. Keep following us on YouTube. Our videos and our lecture series are going to be on here with each one of our providers, and we'll continue to be putting out information that will be helpful, and we look forward to helping you live a better life of health.